Okay, so one option for our character design is to use one of my grade 6 artworks, and you're welcome to do that. You just have to click here, open in new window, and you can add to photos. So open a new window, add to photos, and that will be in your camera roll if you want it. So if you don't want to do the actual drawing or you're not comfortable with the drawing, you can always trace my student's drawing or use it as a guide in split screen. So now we're going to begin. So we're going to click on Keynote. If you were in the previous task we did, just click Presentations, click the plus, and we're going to choose a theme again. And let's go with the white one. And like I said before, if you click the plus, go to the blank, then a one-click delete is quicker than deleting all the text boxes. So the first thing we're going to do is go tap the pen so that you're in drawing mode. If you are wanting to use my student's art, I will show you that first actually. So if I click done, that gets you back into the edit mode here. What you can do is you can do split screen and bring photos across and drag that painting into here, or you can actually just click the plus, video or photo, and you can select it that way. So if you're wanting it to trace, that's one way to do it. If you're wanting it maybe as a reference, which is what some of my students did, is they made this big, whichever one they were doing, just put it here so that they could see it when they were doing their drawing. Or you could have it in split screen and have them drawing from their own photo. But the way that this unit worked was they were learning some basic observation skills, and then they were applying what they learned digitally. So what we'll do is we'll tap the screen, choose the thickness that you want to draw with. I might just do a black outline for now and then move that out the way. And let's start with this one here. So we can see it's got a round shape, a little bit of a shape there. And again, don't worry if it's not perfect. You can also, this is actually good for quick plans, but if you really want them to get some very good digital skills, then I would actually recommend doing this in Procreate, because you can use layers. And what works really nicely is putting in guidelines. Like they could have had guideline cylinder here or rectangle shape, and then they use that as a guide and delete that layer. So that's a possibility. We already talked about proportions, the length of the handle and the measuring against the head. So they were learning these observation skills already. So this was step 1. Okay. Now that they have their basic drawing, we can delete the object. And then so that they got different ideas, what I had them do was select it, copy it, tap and paste, then we move it like so, just 2-finger twist. May not work first time round, but it will work. So that way they could view the object. So for our task, we could do 3 or 2, entirely up to you. If you want another one, just do paste, and this time we could maybe put it this way. And that helps them view their object in different ways. Now, on each one, what you could do as a backup, so that you don't lose this page, is click here, go copy, tap again, and paste. And that way there's a slide there for backup. And then we could do our character design here. So what we're going to do now is, if you want a different color, tap with the pen. And maybe we will put in, I'm going to draw the features in a different color so we can see them. Slide that out the way, zoom it up. And each character, I said to them, just needed to have different shaped eyes, different expressions. So this one can have rectangle eyes. You can draw outside. You can decide if you want a little nose, maybe it has a mouth that's extending out. So you can draw it outside your object. Again, we can copy, click on the slide and paste. If you tap on the screen, get our drawing tool back and you can select the wand, and we're going to go around here and delete. Select, just make sure you're on a new layer and delete. Now we can do a good drawing of this, or we can work with this one as our character. So once you have the outlines, you then open up your tools again, and now we need to fill it with color, but it will only work with enclosed shapes. So sometimes you might have to zoom up and check that your lines are actually joined. So choose the color that you want, click on it, and if your lines are joined, it will fill. Another way, if your lines aren't joined, what you can do is actually draw around the outline of the shape, and that's a way to work around it. So you can tap and fill or trace the shape. Deselect that. With nothing selected, we can now go to the paintbrush and it's got background. So what is helpful is actually to put a light gray or a dark gray, and then you can see how your colors are going. So you can see that I've missed the teeth and one eye. So now I can tap again with my pen. So now that we have this one, we can select or use the lasso and just go around this shape here, ready to delete it. And delete. So now we have our final one.